Alright, ladies and gentlemen, bear with me. This is going to be my first video ever. Today I'm going to show you how you replace a radiator on a 2004 Hyundai Tiburon. It's the 4-cylinder. Got a little small hole right here. Tried putting some epoxy on it, let it sit, but it didn't close it up, so I'm just going to replace the whole radiator. So to make it a little bit easier on me, what I did, so I jacked it up, put it on jack stands, so I can get up under the car. And right here, it's going to be a drain plug. What we're going to do is we're going to use this drain pan right here. I'm going to screw it right here. And then stick it under like this. So that way I can release it from there when I get done with it and stick it in the jug of the Asian Xerox that I got. It's what's best recommended for the car. There's the new radiator. So what I'm gonna start out by doing is I'm gonna unscrew this with a flathead screwdriver, or you can do a Phillips. And then there's gonna be a bolt here and a bolt here that I'm gonna do. Then one here, here, and one also here. And then at the very bottom, there's going to be one down here you can't see. And there's just one all the way down there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, so I got the radiator out. Turns out I did have to unloosen these. They're just two 12mm bolts. One there, one here, sitting like this on top of the radiator to hold it in. So after you get it out, you're going to have to pull up because the bottom prongs are stuck in these little rubber grommets right here. So you pull that up and it comes out. And then after that, what you start doing, start getting your old radiator out. Had to take the coolers off. All they were 3 bolts here, the ones I showed you before. There's 1, 2, and 3. That's the easiest way that I do to keep track of my bolts. And then 2 here, that were the ones on these 2, holding that puppy in. So then all you gotta do for that, make sure it's sitting up here where the radiator goes in. You have to undo these plugs from the fans. Not that hard, just a little push tab right there on the back. Push it in and pull it right off. Have to undo this hose, and this hose goes right here, and that's to your overflow tank. So then after that, you're ready to put your new radiator. So as of right now, I got the radiator back in. Went ahead, at first I did these 2 bolts. So all that did was kind of lift up on the radiator and also kept the cooler. I don't know if you can see it. You can't. The cooler right behind this, the radiator, to hold it up. And then those bolts I was telling you about earlier, they're going to be right here. My fingers are. Let's see if I can get to where you can see it. Right here. Those 2 bolts. One there, and one on this opposite side. One here. Take those out. It's kind of got the weight of the radiator up. You can move it up top because these aren't put in yet. When you get those put in, it'll move it. It'll keep it from moving. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the fans in. What I'm doing is working in reverse order. So last thing I did after I put those bolts in, first thing I did after I took those bolts out, I took the fans out over there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start with what's going to be the driver's side fan first. Bolt it in, one there, or one here. Grab the driver's side, put one in here, and then that middle screw is actually holding both the passenger side and the driver's side fan in. So after I bolt those in, what I'm going to do then is start connecting my hoses and put them through. So right now, I'm kind of at the end of stages. Got everything hooked back up, got it off the jack stands. To bleed them, on the back of the thermostat's way back there, so if there was a bleeder valve on it, it's kind of hard to get to. So a way you can cheat that method, when you pour your coolant in here, as you can see, the coolant that's recommended for it, it's going to be a blue color. It's going to be blue. It's called Xerox. And then what you do is you can see it, when all the air bubbles are out, it's going to pop up like that. You can kind of do it on both the top of the radiator hose, the bottom radiator hose, and the top. And that pushes the antifreeze back into your thermostat and all your cooling system. So then put your radiator cap back on. fill your overflow up. I put it about halfway. A whole bottle got me the radiator full into the thermostat, into the housings and all that. And then squeezing it. And then I emptied this because I had a little bit of crud in there. Washed it out with water. Really good. And then I emptied it back into my drain pan. And then poured the rest of it in here. And then all I'm going to do now is I'm going to sit in the car and I'm going to turn it on. If I hear kind of a watery sound, what I'm going to come back up here and do is I'm going to squeeze it. And you'll hear kind of like water in your... It sounds like water's in your car, but it's not. All you'll do then is come back up and repeat the squeezing the tube and bleeding.